go. Hey there everybody, it's a nasty one here again. Welcome back to the next episode of the Freebooters franchise here in Unova 7. Last episode was a back and forth affair. Fought tooth and nail to beat the Overdogs in game 1 7-5, pissed away game number 2 14-9, and then slaughtered them in the final game 20-0 to claim our third championship ring here in the series and second in a row. 3 in the last 4 seasons. Take a quick look here at our record in the series. We're 87-53 for, apparently that's good for a 62% winning percentage. We've made 4 playoff appearances each in the last 4 seasons, and we have won 3 titles, years 7, 6, and 4. Year 5, we made the finals and lost. And with that, that means it's that time of year again. It is time for the off season, and we have to dread the possibility of losing this top tier roster of players to free agency. Is there anybody that I think is going to possibly be at risk for testing? Yes, I think there are many actually. First top are our top 2 players, Nico Jennings and Stump Pitts. Both of them are A caliber players. Pitts did start regressing this past off season, so if he does test, he's not going to get as much as he thinks he's going to get because he is going to be 32. And then Jennings, he'll be 28. He's in his prime. I could easily see him negotiating for a bigger contract. Reliable, he actually tested last year and he got paid less. I don't think he's going to test now. Huffley Buffler, he could test. He's getting a little underpaid, but he sticks around. I could probably see keeping him. But at the same time, we have Salmon, so maybe not. Maybe just get like a younger option to back Salmon up. That's really all I can think of there. Third base, Colton Burnett's a rookie. He's getting underpaid, so he might test for more money. We'll see. I hope he doesn't. Ho, he might test for more money. He's a little bit underpaid for his overall in youth. McFreddy, he's definitely getting underpaid. He could also test. Martin Polbean, he just got a pay increase, so I don't see him testing anytime soon. Burnside, he's getting paid a little under for what he's worth, but if he does test, I might not bring him back just because he's not a great hitter. Nixon, I don't think he's going to test, but if he does, I'll be happy to re-sign him because he proved his worth in the postseason. Bad Brown, he's been here since the beginning. If he does test, it might be time to let him go, but at the same time, I think I could get him back for cheap, so. Parker Freeman, backup catcher, had a coming out party. I expect him to test to try and get more money. I would love to re-sign him too. He's a great backup catcher. For our pitching, Noelle, getting a little bit underpaid, but she is going to be over 30 now. She's going to start regressing soon. She's going to be 31. Maybe we can resign her. Maybe we won't be able to. We'll see. Griffin's getting paid for what he's worth, so he is okay. Lafayette's still making decent money. I don't expect her to test. Ellison making about what she should be making for her overall, so no worries there. Para, he's making about what he's worth. He might want a little bit more. Might have to re-sign him again. Elliot Rumsey's, he's coming off a rookie season. He increased a lot. I could see him testing for more money. Especialo, he's definitely getting underpaid, but not by much. I don't see him testing, and if he does, we'll probably be able to get him back for cheap. Farmer, she could want more money, but at the same time, I don't know if she's going to test or not. Hard to tell. She's only in her 3rd season, so, or 2nd season. 2nd or 3rd season? 3rd season, yeah. She'll be going into her 4th. I don't know if she'll test or not. We'll see. Either way, let's jump into it. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, good lord. Alright, we started 2.2. We went up to 27. Okay. We just gained $25 million. That could be a lot of small numbers. That could be a few big numbers. Lord, don't do this to me, Lord. Oh, it's Noel. Our last original pitcher has tested free agency. God damn it. Parker Freeman, okay, that's to be expected. I can try and re-sign him. Nixon, when it got caught in a scandal, okay. Alright, not ideal, but we can re-sign him. Para tested, okay, not ideal. We can try and re-sign him. And Bo Belter retired, okay, good for him. He played all 7 years with the Hot Corners, good for him, and he didn't get cut once. How about that? Alright, so we lost our ace. We lost our backup catcher. We lost our 4th outfielder / 3rd outfielder. And we lost our best reliever. Okay, we got some work to do. Alright, but I'm really glad that the core of our roster didn't test, so that's good. Buffler, I'm a little bit on the fence about keeping, but we'll see. Gonna keep Ho. Probably gonna keep McFreddy because he's a nice young replacement for Pitts. We're definitely keeping Salmon. We'll keep Burnett. We'll keep Martin. Burnside I'm open to replacing if necessary. And Brown, the ever faithful Bad Hot Brown, refuses to leave the team. He's the last original member right now. If we bring Noel back, that changes. Kept Lafayette, we kept Griffin, we kept Ellison, that's good. Kept Rums, and no Special and Farmer, perfect. So just 2 pitchers. They just happen to be 2 of our best. Actually, they are our best 2, overall-wise. A- and B+. Okay, let's start on pitching. Clearly, we want Noel back, if at all possible. Looking at her career, she's gone 14-5 in 7 seasons for just the ERA a little bit over 4. WHIP at 1.3. That's not horrible. And she's amassed over 150 strikeouts. Not bad. Pretty solid career, I think. Divide that by 7 real quick. How much is that? That's 2, carry the 1. That's 23 strikeouts a season. That's pretty good. Started off slow and then really ramped it up in the later years. Alright, well, we definitely want Winnie back, so. But let's have a backup option in case things don't work out. I like Ember Villanueva. That's a nice young arm there. Right-hander. Solid junk. Decent velocity. Accuracy could use some work. You also got Robert Muddywater. Another rookie. Young right-hander. Possible brother to Gauze Muddywater, the catcher for the Wild Pigs. Got Haley Mercado. Not bad. 20 years old. Solid ratings to work with. Okay. I like that. Alright, I like those 3. And then we got Noel. And then for relievers, arguably, I'd like to get Parra back. He's the youngest option of the B+ and over category. But I could settle for another option. Someone like maybe Garrett Peck. He's a little bit older though, so maybe I want to go a little bit younger. We also have a... Let's see, we got Jacoby Roth, who's pretty even across the board. We also have Christian Tucker. Solid ratings, just needs to work on that junk rating. Maybe not him. There are not a lot of good relievers that I like. The other young one maybe I'd aim for... I don't want to bring Doc back. He didn't really do much for us when he was here. I'll put Tucker on there as an option, I guess. And you know, why not? Let's, for old time's sake, let's put Grace on there. Why not? Alright, now for the batting lineup. Okay, so we need a backup catcher. We need Freeman back. That would be nice. Worst comes to worst. Well, Gauze tested free agency. I don't want to go that low, though. So maybe someone like Becky Myers. She could be a good backup. Good DH, too. Got RBI, man. Governance Case, I'd also be okay signing her if Parker doesn't want to come back. All 3 of them are options. Who else tested again? That's right, Nixon. Right field. Where are you, Herpy? There you are. Got him there. Are there any other outfielders that I like that are like young that I could sign like straight away? Got Chesley McDowell. Only a corner outfielder though, so keep that in mind. Armhorn's too good. Allen's too good. I'm not going to be able to sign them. I don't have the money. Definitely don't have the money for any of these guys. Holy crap, those are some good center fielders. But yeah, let's see. Any cheap options? No. So there are no good left fielders either. I mean, Buckswiner's solid. So is Dewey Zuniga. Forrest Ferguson. Now that's a solid name right there. I'd say Ferguson's better than Zuniga, even though he is older. Okay, those are the ones I'd go for. Is that everybody? That is, okay. And that's also looking out for possible replacement for Burnside. We'll see. Anything else? I mean, Buffler's the only other question mark. Are there any good middle infielders that are, like, young? There's Corker, but he plays outfield. Doesn't look like anybody in the second base department is, like, younger than Except Turner. He's 30, but Buffler is 32, and he's a better overall, so I would want Buffler. Jedediah. Name cracks me up. Shortstop. Any young shortstops out here? No. There's really not a lot of good options right now. Alright, well, we'll just have to sim forward and see what happens. We got our targets. Move. Okay. Alright, that's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And 5. Okay, let's see where they're at. Alright. Okay, so Buck is still there. Peck is still there. Nixon is still there. Parra. Ferguson. Freeman. Case. McDowell. Tucker. Myers. Villanueva. Noel. Mercado. Muddywater. Roth. Lupinovich. Okay, so they're all still there. None of them are I'm worried about them signing, so let's just skip ahead another 5. Oh, but we could check and see if there's any good options left. That's right. We could see who was released in like those early weeks. That could like maybe be a difference maker for us. I am not seeing anything. Holy crap. There is not a lot out here. I'm gonna put Zuniga on the list as well, just because, yes, he's a weak fielder and he doesn't have the best arm, but he's pretty solid in the contact and speed departments. You could always use that off the bench. Yeah, still no young options. Okay. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through these to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I'm not. Okay. Feel better about myself now. Oh, I didn't check long relievers. You're right. I could use a long reliever if necessary, in case I can't get Parra back. 34, 41, and 33. Well, Rhubarb's pretty much shot for her career. She's already a C. It's probably not going to go for her. That leaves Bowler and Zumar. Between the two of them, Zumar is obviously regressing. He's 41 now. Bowler, he might be regressing, he might not. He is only 34 though, so he would regress less than Zumar. So he'll be a nice backup option. Alright, 5 more rounds. Let's go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. Alright, let's see if they're all still here. Alright, so Myers is there. Just getting close to being signed, it looks like. Ferguson is still there. He's getting closer too. Tucker, probably going to go soon. Noel, still out there. That's good. McDowell, still here. Nice. We got Zuniga still there. Zuniga. Don't know how to pronounce that. Roth, he's there. Okay, Roth is getting ready to be signed, though. Lupinovich is still there. Case is still there. Nixon is still there. Freeman is still there. Freeman is dangerously close to being signed. I only feel going comfortable maybe 1 or 2 more weeks with him, and then we'll probably have to sign him. Peck is still there. That's good. He's probably close. Muddywater is still there. So is Villanueva. Mercado is still there, as well as Bowler. Parra and Swiner. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start slowing down a bit more. Let's just go 1 at a time, maybe 2. Alright, Lupinovich is gone. That's not a big loss. I wasn't expecting to get her anyway. And let's just do one more round. That's it. Let's see. There goes Peck. Okay. Probably need to sign Parra then. There's Lumpkins. Throne. Bowler. Yeah, definitely need to sign Parra now. And Sosa, okay. Alright, yeah, it's probably time to sign Parra then, because they've taken all of the relievers that I liked, leaving me with Parra and then the two weaker options, Tucker and Roth, who, let's be real, they're nowhere near what Parra is, but he's at 8-8. Is he really worth 8-8? How much was he making last year? He was making 6-9. I don't know. Is he really worth that much? Seems sus. Could always go younger. Maybe go for Roth. Could use another lefty out of the pen. Someone like Tucker, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, focus on what we got at hand here. Parker's at 5-3. I'm willing to sign him for that. He's earned that much at least. So Parker is back. That's nice. Welcome back, Parker. Nice to see you again. So we managed to keep him after his breakout year. He gets a nice pay increase. Almost $2 million extra. We don't need Myers or Case anymore. Alright, so then outfielders, Buck, Dewey, and Forrest are still there. Buck's at $8 million. 8-7 for McDowell. 8-6 for Nixon. Nixon's still being a little bit overpaid if you ask me, so maybe won't sign him for that. Indeed. Tough calls here. He is the better player over Burnside, though. Decisions. I think we can wait on Nixon for now. Alright, pitchers. Yep, that's right. 12-7, still a little bit much for Noelle, I think, especially now that she's over 30. Villanueva's probably getting ready to be signed here, maybe around 10 million, I think. Muddy Waters at 9, so he'd be a good backup in case Villanueva and Noelle miss. Mercado's about ready to be signed as well, I think. It's hard to tell with these the pitchers, man. The pitchers are always the hardest ones to predict. Let's skip ahead of here, see what happens. Alright, we hang on for another week as everybody makes it through. Another week. Everybody makes it through again, okay. Alright, I say we go one more and see where we're at. Then make some moves. Everybody makes it again. Okay, I'm liking this. Alright, I can work with this now. Let's see what we can do. Okay. So, between the Burnside and the Nixon debate, obviously Nixon is the better player, so I'm okay picking him over Dominic and releasing Dominic. But at the same time, we're going to need to cut some money somewhere. Can I do that with this move? I say we cut Dominic with Nixon's money, and then use whatever money we can to sign a cheaper fourth outfielder. So Burnside is gone, Nixon is in, Nixon is back. Then we'll replace his spot with someone cheap. Someone who's going to make less than him. Maybe someone like Zuniga or Ferguson. Between these two. Ferguson is the more complete player, I would say. But he is older, so that is the risk we would take. He would not be good for as long as, say, Zuniga, who might still have some room to grow. Plus, he does have high pitch working for him, whereas Ferguson has no traits, but he's a solid player. better fielder, he's got a better arm, he's better power. A little bit weaker on the contact and speed departments. Zuniga hasn't beaten those two categories. He also has the trait. And he's also got youth working for him on his side. Still, if we were to make these moves, I think Ferguson would be the way to go, because he would be making less than Herpy is at this time. But we could also let him drop a little bit more because he is older. So I say we hold off on that for now. Worry about that later. We're going to take Buck off. We don't need him. Alright, and then we move to the pitching side of things real quick. Noel's at 11.8. Still a little bit pricey for me. Villanueva's at 10.3. Muddy Water's at 8.1, and Mercado's at 5.1. They're getting close. Par's at 7.9. Guess just keep going. Hard to tell with pitchers. They're always the hardest ones to predict. I've said that before, I know. Alright, Mercado got picked up by the B-Wolves. Not horrible. And everyone else makes it through. Okay. Another week, please. Alright, so Roth goes to the Crocodons. Okay. Muddy Water's still there. Para is still there. Okay. Noelle is gone. Damn. And with that, the last original pitcher of our roster has left. She is going to the Buzzards for $11.5 million, getting almost a $2 million increase in her salary. It's a bittersweet moment, Winnie. You will be missed. You led us to 3 titles, my friend. May the rest of your career be as prosperous. And thank God you're in the other league. I don't have to see you. Okay. Alright, that's tough. Noelle's going to be a tough one to replace. We can get Villanueva for a little bit more, but she's just not as good as Noelle was, in all honesty. She just wasn't. Sure, she has more junk, but she's weaker in the other 2 departments. It's definitely a step back no matter how you look at it. Honestly, I think the smarter option is to go with Muddy Water here, save us a little bit of money, and just let it be a 3-way battle for the ace of the rotation between him, Lafayette, and Griffin. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sign Muddy Water. I like what he brings to the table. He's 24 years old. Villanueva is younger, yes, but there's always a chance she'll leave in free agency. Plus, she doesn't have as much accuracy. Griffin has that already. I want a more complete pitcher, kind of like Muddy Water. Pitch is kind of like Allison. He's basically built the same. He has more accuracy and velocity than junk. And that kind of fills the role that Noelle had on the team. She had velocity and accuracy, but not a lot of junk. Lafayette has no velocity or junk, but she has a lot of accuracy. And Griffin has a lot of stuff, but no accuracy. So he's kind of filling the role in a sense. And I believe Noelle was 24 when we started this series, so it kind of fits. Of course, granted, she was a B+ or an A- already, so... Still, I like what this does for the table, and it will cut some money that we can use elsewhere. So, welcome, Robert. That's a rookie signing for you. And just like that, we have a new starter. Now for the reliever situation. Do we stick with Para, who had a really solid last season? It was his best overall from an ERA standpoint, and best overall on a WHIP standpoint as well. But he's just never lived up to the hype of being as good as he is. Granted, he's only 22, but I'm getting serious Lupinovich vibes for him. And he didn't even make it through 10 innings. So, I think we want to go in another direction here. Might be a step back, but arguably I wanted Roth over Tucker here, but I could use that second lefty out of the bullpen. And he's played the last 3 years with the Nemesis. Not great numbers. This doesn't inspire a lot of confidence from me. Doc is making what Parr was making last year. How did Doc pitch since he left us? 430, 514, 293, 582. So he hasn't pitched well either. And he's the same archetype as Para. making the same, making actually a little bit less money. A little bit weaker player, though. You know what? I'm willing to take the risk here. I'm going to give Tucker the chance. Maybe he'll break out. I don't know. Looking at his ratings now for his stuff, I'm just not sold. I don't know. Is this a good move or not? It probably isn't. I guess he'll kind of be like our mop-up guy out of the pen if we're like getting shelled or something. So, alright, Tucker. Come on in, buddy. And we only spent $4 million. We really cut $2 million out of the out of the pitching right there. So then all we got to do is sign our last outfield slot. Four, 7, and 5, 7. They're both getting there. I think both of them made it. They did. 4-5 for Ferguson. And 5-5 for Zuniga. Zuniga's there at 5-4. Parra gets picked up by the Jacks, it looks like. And Ferguson goes to the Moonstars. Okay, well, that made our pick easy then. Ooh, I want to see where Burnside goes if he's still out there. I think he is. He should still be out here. Somewhere. There he is. I want to see where he goes. I want to see who picks him up. $5-4 to 5-8. I say let's get that down a little bit more. Get it down closer to 5, eh? And he got picked up by the Crocodiles. Okay. Thanks, game. Thanks. I mean, Freeman could act as another outfielder, but... shoot. Clyde Oliver's still out here. You do you, Clyde. You do you, buddy. Guess we'll go Gustafsson then, just let him get down a little bit more. Seems to be the nice solid option that's left. Aiming for about maybe 4 million or so. There's Ramsey. He's going back to the Heaters, it looks like. Did he come for the Heaters or did he come for the Crocodiles? I don't remember. Moonstars re-signed Clyde. There you go, buddy. Oh, Ferguson's got released. Never mind. Might have him back. Might have it back. I saw that. I saw the releasement. There he is. Making a heck of a lot less. Down to 4-6. I kind of want to be at 4-5 at least. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Gonna go with Ferguson here. Now I kind of want to be at 5 million. Yes, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him for that. Perfect. Love to see it. No, not Dominic. Ferguson, he's back, baby. Yeah. Alright, bringing in Forrest Ferguson, a new addition. What does Ferguson's career look like? Has he ever taken off? He's been in the league with the Grapplers for 5 years. Never really did anything. Good solid option off the bench, though, I would say. Maybe De La Cruz would be an option to replace Buffler. Not sure. Got Jedediah Clark. Got Buffler a ring. Maybe Donga. Donga would actually be nice. Yeah, you know what? I'll take the step back here from Buffler. Just to get that little bit extra money in the bank. I think this is a good move. Let's give Masha the shot here. Gave you a ring, Huffley, but sorry. Gotta get some money back from you, bud. Hey, Hoon. Nice to see you, buddy. Actually getting ready to do the recap here real quick. I just want to get through the last couple of rounds here, and then I'll show you what happened. Alright. 2 more. Alright, 1 more. This should do it. And with that, we're through the off-season in just over 30 minutes. Not bad. Okay. I'll give you a nice little recap here, guys. As soon as it's done loading. Anytime now. That would be wonderful. Okay. There we go. Now it's buffering. Come on. I know you can do it, little machine. I know you can. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do the recap here as I sim through this real quick. Okay. So, coming off the victory, we found out Bo Belter retired from the league. We got our first-ish news update when Kingston Para tested free agent for the second straight year. So we lose our best relievers overall-wise. Not our most consistent reliever by any stretch. Then we found out that Nixon got caught in a scandal. He had to resign, which I kind of expected because, you know, he needed more money anyway. Then Parker Freeman, after his nice coming out party last year, the backup catcher, tested free agency. And then our ace, Winnie Noel, our last original pitcher from the day 1 roster, left to go for more money, finally testing free agency for the first time after 7 seasons. We're just going to cut through this real quick. I'm only going to focus on the ones that we actually were interested in. We had a lot of targets. We wanted to get those 4 back, and if worst came to worst, we could replace them with, you know, people that I would be okay with bringing in. As we sim up, it took a little bit for us to get to where we were going. So for the first 10 rounds, nothing really happened that like concerned us. We didn't really lose anybody. Not a lot of our targets got signed either, so we weren't missing a whole lot. Then after like round 12 or so is when things really started heating up. A lot of my relievers got picked up early. So the first move we made was round 13. Parker Freeman, he dropped down to a more favorable number, 5.3. He was making about 3.5 when we signed him originally, so got himself a nice little pay increase, $1.8 million, so he's happy now. Then we went to the next round, round 14. Nothing happened. Round 15 we got here. Again, nothing happened. Then round 16, we decided to bring Nixon back for 7.7, so he makes about $1.5 million more, I think, just about. And we cut Dominic Burnside, reason being Nixon is 2 years younger. He's also the better player overall-wise compared to Burnside. Yes, Burnside has the traits, but outside of his traits, he's not a very good hitter. Like, if those aren't active, he's not going to do much for you in the batter's box. And Nixon gives us pretty much the same arm and the same speed, except he can drop bombs for us, which is basically what our identity is, to drop bombs. So we made that tough decision. And then we also found out, as we send to the next round, which is round 17, a couple more relievers I was targeting left. Noel signed cross-conference, going over to the Buzzards organization, who missed the playoffs last year by a game. They needed the pitching help, obviously, so she's going to a good situation. She's going to make that team better. And I don't have to see her in the regular season, so that's actually kind of a good thing. So it's tough losing our last original pitcher, but at the same token, I know she's going to a good place where she'll be needed. And that also opened us up to sign a cheaper starting pitcher. Welcome rookie right-hander Robert Muddywater, the distant cousin of catcher Gauze Muddywater from the Wild Pigs. He's a redhead, she's blonde, so don't know how that works, but it is what it is. He'll be taking over the rotation, and then we also decided to sign Nemesis reliever Christian Tucker, who is going to be like our mop-up guy out of the bullpen, to take Para's spot, because we realized Para's going to be a little bit too much money. We're not going to be able to afford him, and he's not pitching up to his ratings, so it didn't make sense to logically keep him in the bullpen when we have Rums, who overpitched his abilities and is the same overall, and he's a lot cheaper, and we have Ospecialo, who is a good, solid left-hander. Plus, bringing in Tucker, that gives us a second left-hander. Then we kept going here. Then at this point, the only spot we had left to fill was our fourth outfielder slot, which was our backup position. So a whole bunch of other players came off the board. I wasn't really focused on seeing them leave. I was more focused on which guy we were going to get. And we ended up getting the guy I wanted. And that ended up being a former Grapplers outfielder, Forrest Ferguson. Ferguson's played 5 years with the Grapplers. He's never been a starter. He's never really hit well either because he's never gotten the opportunities. But compared to the other backup options out there, he is the most solid one across the board. All ratings equal. He's got pretty good fielding, pretty good arm, decent contact and power, and he's got, alright speed. It's nothing mind-blowing, but he's a good, solid backup to come in the game late if one of your starters isn't hitting well. And then we also released Huffley Buffler. We signed him for the playoffs only. I wasn't sold on keeping him, especially for how much money he was making. Granted, it is cheap for his overall ratings, but we needed more money because we were down to $5 million. So I wanted to get back up to like 8 or 9. And by bringing in Mashadonga, we bring in a utility infielder who can play anywhere around the diamond at will. Granted, she's a lot older, but I think it might be worth it at this point. And that is all our transactions for the offseason. And Burnside is still out there, so I actually want to see if someone picks him up for more than he was making. He was making $6 million with us. I want to see how other teams value him. And with that, this is your new roster. Jennings and Pitts both stay. Both of our top 2 players stay. That's always awesome. Reliable stayed as well after being the runner-up for the MVP in the postseason. Cole Salmon, the Fishman, returns for another year. Started second base again. Burnett comes back for year number 2 at third base. Ho comes back for another year behind the dish. McFreddy, another backup role at first base, also the DH. Polbean comes back for left field despite not hitting well in the playoffs. Nixon back. He got the little pay increase. He's a lot happier now. Donga is a new veteran infielder who's going to come off the bench for us in certain situations. Then we're going to have Brown, the only original Freebooter member left. He hasn't improved much, but he does enough to stick around, and he wants to stay. So we just leave his little spot open for him on the bench. Oh, thanks, Hulkman. Thank you. I am. We bring in Ferguson, the new backup outfielder. He's going to take over Burnside's role from last year. He's going to come off the bench, if one of the outfielders isn't feeling well. And he's basically just there, for better defense in the later innings compared to Nixon. And then backup catcher Parker Freeman comes back for a little bit of a pay raise, so he's happy. So looking at the pitching rotation, Griffin is going to take over the role of the ace from Noel after seeing her leave. Muddywater will take over the number 2 position, the rookie. I believe he is a rookie. Let me check that real quick. Please tell me he's a rookie. That would make this so much better. Yes, he is. Which is fitting because he is the same age as Noel when this playthrough started, which was 24. He's not as good as she was. She was a B+, A- area, but he's a solid pitcher, and I can see it working. Yeah, Salmon's basically the new face. Him, Jennings, and Pitts, and Reliable, they're like the 4 guys. And then Lafayette is going to take up her 3 role again. Ellison's still the 4. Rums returns. He's now the best reliever in the bullpen. He's going to be the go-to guy for tough situations. Especialo, of course, the left-hander coming out to deal with lefties. Tucker, he's the mop-up guy. He'll come out if any of the other guys are all tired and I have no other options. And then Farmer back for her 4th year as closer. That's nothing new. Alright, we're going to sim it to the next game here and see how it goes. See how the season opens for the other teams involved. Kicking off year 8 here. Hot Corners winning extra innings, 13 innings, barn burner, 2-1. Overdogs win. Moonstars taking on the Sawteeth. Sawteeth win 2-0, and the Beebles take on the Heaters. Beebles win 5-2. Okay. Alright. Alright. So this season is going to start just like last year. We're taking on the Herbisaurs on opening day, and we're once again facing Gunnar Bomso, the 2nd-year pitcher. He opened the season against us last year. He pitched really well. Late offense by us won the game off their bullpen, so he pitched really well. I'm curious to see if he's going to follow that up. And Griffin gets his turn at being the ace here in his 4th season. He is now the go-to guy in the rotation. It's going to be interesting to see these storylines play out. And according to this, we're still power hitters. Our starting pitching has taken a bit of a nosedive. Bullpen is still solid as ever. Defense is solid. Power is still up at the top. Contact's a little bit down, but it's still up there. And our speed, it's still shit. Alright. I'm actually curious. Did Para get signed too? I think he did. Is he out there? He did. He did get signed. Where did he go? I'm kind of curious to see where he went, but I don't want to scroll through all this to try and find it either. Probably in that long list right there. Yeah, it was definitely after Noel. He was still here. Yeah, there he went. He went to the Jacks. Oh, God, he went to the Jacks. Oh, no, the Jacks. They suck. Oh, they're desperate. They're desperate for players. Ooh, but they got the rookie Villanueva. Maybe they're beefing up that pitching. Okay, I'll see how this goes. All right, let's set the lineup here, and we're going to call it a day. And next episode, we'll kick off the beginning of year number 8. All right, so here's what we got going into next season. We're going to have Pitts lead off. The captain's going to DH. Then it's going to be Ho batting second. He'll be catching. Reliable shortstop will bat number 3. Jennings will bat 4th and center. McFreddy at first. He'll bat 5th. Salmon, the fishman, will bat 6th at second. Polbeam batting 7th. He'll be in left field. Burnett, the 2nd-year man, will bat 8th at third. And then Nixon will round us out in right field at number 9, which means Donga, Ferguson, Brown, and Freeman will all be on the bench. All right, and then Griffin will be the starter for opening day. Okay, we already went over that. Yes. Alrighty, that's going to do it, guys. Let's do our quick little recap here and go out here. So we kept the offense mostly intact, which is a good sign. The only people that tested free agency were Nixon, who we managed to re-sign, as well as Freeman, who we also managed to re-sign. We cut Dominic Burnside to get Nixon back and also bring in a better backup outfielder. He's a little bit older, but, you know, he's a solid backup. He's off the bench, Mr. Ferguson. Then we also released Buffler to free up some more cap space and bring in the veteran Masha Donga from the wide loads, the utility infielder. She'll take over our infield needs off the bench. We lose Noelle to free agency. Sad to see her go, but she had been criminally underpaid for a couple years now, so I'm not surprised she finally left after 7 years. Bring in the rookie Robert Muddywater to replace her role. Kingston Parra tests free agency for the 2nd straight year and going into his 4th season. He hadn't really shown that he was worth all the money he was asking, so I went in a different direction and got the veteran Christian Tucker, who's also going into his 4th season, but the difference between him and Parra is, other than being a left-hander, he's not as good. He's never gotten the chance to really shine and develop, so maybe this is what will turn his career around. We'll see. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you guys missed anything, you can always come back and watch the VODs here on Twitch. This will also be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. Follow me and Vaughn Prakniak over there. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, you know, all that fun stuff. Next episode will begin season number 8, which will debut our new ego. I'm going to be bumping it up to 85, as clearly that 20-0 win against the Overdogs in the final game showed me that we're ready to move on to a more difficult challenge. We'll see if that 2 ego is enough. It might not be. We might have to raise it a little bit more, or it might just be what we need. We'll find out next time. Until then, this is a nasty one, signing off.